We be live. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
How's everyone doing? We have a special episode today. Before we answer the Patreon questions, we're gonna do some reviews on the event that me and Susanna just went to in Germany. Okay, we're gonna be reviewing my panel today, and if Susanna is willing, maybe another day we'll review her panel. But she doesn't seem to be willing. Maybe another, if no pressure, no pressure. Oh, let me actually remove that.
I think
that was.
I'm not ready to relive that experience.
No, I think she did great.
Recorded live on air.
Sorry, that was my phone just making a mess. But anyways, no, I think she did great, but she's not very sure of that. But if you ever change your mind, we could review that together. Okay. Anyways, we will answer the Patreon question very fast. But Susanna, I didn't tell you. I want to do something before we do the stream today. I want to make. I don't know if what I'm about to do is a good thing to do or not, but you let me know what.
Oh my god!
Think, okay.
I love it. This is how we're starting.
I didn't tell this before with you. No, I don't think you're gonna have an issue with this. Okay. In fact, I think you're gonna wonder why I have an issue with this. Okay. But something just happened. I just found out before the stream that happened in Iran. Okay. There are two mullahs that were attacked with iron rods.
Oh my god!
Beaten by iron rods in Iran to the point of trying to kill them. Okay, and it seems like these attacks. Yeah, it seems like these attacks were just because they were mullah.
Wow!
Right, because the first one. So the guy was on his phone. The first mullah was on his phone, and he was the Friday. Let me see. Yeah, this happened in Qom, and one of them was the leading Friday prayer, right? The leading imam of the Friday prayer, right? I don't know how you say that in English, right? But he was just talking on his phone, and two young men. Let me just see if I'm just reading his impression. Two young men just came out with iron rods and starting beating the crap out of him. And the other mullah was in his car and he couldn't believe what's happening. So he got out of his car and he called them out or something. And as soon as the two other young men saw that he also had a turban on, they started attacking him as well. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So this is like the anti-Islamic sentiments in Iran is growing so much. And it seemed like, again, things might change and there might be other motivation. But as of right now, I don't know if you guys want me to read the report. As of right now, it seems like it's just because they're mullahs, because they had turbans on, and young Iranian people just hate them so much and see them responsible for all their misery in Iran that they're putting their anger and expressing it like this. Okay. So I thought I should be condemning this, right? Like, I don't know. I thought it would be because we keep telling, I mean, some of us at least keep telling Muslims that they're responsible for condemning any attacks that Muslims do on ex-Muslims and stuff. I don't know if that's fair or not, but if that's what expected of Muslims, I think that, especially because these were done by young Iranians, and it seemed like anti-Islamic Iranians, and I'm both Iranian and anti-Islamic at the same time, so I thought it would be. I don't know. Do you think I think I should? I mean, I'm condemning this right now. This is horrible. Obviously, this is disgusting. This is a crime. These people should be arrested. These people should be going to jail. This is not how you express.
They should be tried for attempted murder.
Yes, exactly. Obviously, I condemn this. But do you think it's a responsibility for us to come out and condemn something like this, or is it just a good idea? What do you think? Oh, we gotta.
I think it's helpful. I think it's very helpful to do so. I don't think it's necessarily a requirement, but I think part of this draws into the larger things that are happening in Iran and like your feelings about it. I think it's particularly helpful for you as someone who does oppose the regime, but who does want a better life for Iranians, like to come out and talk about why this is unacceptable. Because that sort of behavior and that sort of attitude needs to be modeled for more people. Like you say all the time, like if the regime was to fall, you are scared. You are deeply scared about the blood that will run in the streets for the people who are religious or yeah. And I think that's a legitimate concern. And so I think it definitely needs, your attitude needs to be modeled. So I think it's very helpful.
So one of the mullahs is saying, as soon as they saw that I have an amame, which means the turban, they started attacking my car and started breaking my windows. So
God, that's
and then I got up
terrifying.
and then I got out of my car. So the first mullah was outside talking on his phone, and he saw that he was in his car, and I think they waved at each other, and he just saw two young men coming in and hitting that. I was like, what the hell is happening? And then let me actually read the exact what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, as soon as those two young guys saw that I also have a turban in the car, they started attacking the car and started breaking down his windows. And then he got out of the car, and then they started beating him with the same iron rods. So like,
wow.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like there was any personal grudge or anything before that they had specific with these two guys. It was specifically because they were just mullahs. So yeah, these people, and I honestly I also think like we should say that obviously we hope that these people recover. Obviously, we don't think these people deserve anything like this. Obviously, like these are
they just
obvious
received
statements.
a traumatic brain injury. Like they're never going to be the same.
Yeah. Okay, so in the live chat. Okay, so guys, like I just want to show you how bad this, how common, like a lot of people like, oh, not that many people on our side think like this. It's not true. There's a lot of people like on our side that actually are like this. I mean, one of them, right in our live chat, like look at this, like in our live chat, we have a username called There Is No God, and he or she saying, I hate that I am not sad about it. Okay, I mean, it's good that you hate that, but the fact that you're not sad about it, like you're seeing a fellow human being being beaten to with an attempt to beat them to death, like this should be, you should be sad about it. I don't know, like I'm glad that you know that there's a problem, that you're having a problem, that you're not sad about this. So at least you acknowledge that this is not a good thing, right? And then we have go ahead.
I want to address this comment. Shriyash Singh is saying, is it necessary or is it necessarily that they were ex-Muslims though? Like they could be young quote unquote progressive Muslims that see them as un-Islamic. Here's the thing. We didn't make any claim about whether the attackers were ex-Muslims or not. If anything, they seem to be very anti-regime, and especially in Iran, visibly religious people are seen as an extension of the regime itself, essentially. So they often, or this could be an instance of taking out the anger and frustration with the regime out on just a person that they in their opinion, is representative of the larger government itself.
Yeah, there's a lot of gray in between, okay, but there's a lot of overlap between people who are anti-regime and anti-mullah and people who hate Islam. Okay, that's not necessarily the same, but you wouldn't be surprised. Like you would be like, oh, that's like, okay. So let me tell you, like it's obvious, it's possible, like for example, that these people were Muslims themselves, right? And they consider like, oh, I hate these guys because they're like making Islam look bad or something like that. But if that's the case, it would be somewhat surprising. Not very surprising, but somewhat surprising. I think most people with their understanding, most Iranians with their understanding of how different people's views are, they would expect if these people to get arrested, for these people to hate, I don't know, anything that is associated with Islam or religion. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, but I'm just saying that's probably what you expect to get. And again, I don't know which one of these. It's possible that they're like, no, I love Muhammad, but these people are not Muslim, or these mullahs are like destroyed. Like, if that's also possible. Yeah, it's fair to say that. But at the end of the day, whether they're progressive Muslims that hate mullahs or just anti-Islamic people that consider anything Islamic as pro-regime, it is an anti-regime or anti-mullah or anti-Islam view. And I represent all of those views. Okay, so I don't know which one of these are, whether it's anti-mullah or anti-regime or anti-Islam. I hold all those views. So which one of these are, okay, I condemn it. Okay. So I don't know which one it is. Yeah. So by the way, guys, let me know if in the live chat, do you think that I have what are your views? Okay. So I saw this and I thought that some people would think that I have a responsibility to come and condemn this. Okay, which one is it? Do I have a responsibility as somebody that might share the view of these attackers to come and condemn this, which I have done right now? I condemn it. Do you think that was a responsibility of me, or it's not a responsibility, but it would be a good idea if I do it, or neither? Like if you're just like, no, Armin, you're wasting time. Obviously, this is a bad thing. It doesn't need to be said. Like, why are you wasting? Why are you telling us that beating up people with iron rods is a bad idea? Like, why are you insulting our intelligence? Like, obviously, this is a bad thing. So let me know what you guys think. Actually, saying this is, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you wanted to say something. I think it was interesting what you were about.
No, it wasn't a fully articulated thought.
Okay. Oxymore is saying this is the first time I've seen these kind of attacks outside of India. There are predictions that these types of attacks are going to increase in Iran. We already had a knife attack on 2 mullahs. A couple of
no, it was like 2 or 3 mullahs were there was a stabbing attack. Was it in Esfahan?
I think it was in Mashhad. I forgot.
I think,
but. Yeah. And now we have this, and some people are saying this is only going to increase. So we don't know. Anyways, so there's that.
Beep Boop is saying that you have a responsibility, but because you're an activist.
You are activist, not random person, so you do have responsibility. Interesting. Oh, well, I don't know if I have a responsibility, but if I do, I have just fulfilled it. So there you go. I have done it. Okay, so yeah, but I really hope these people recover. I hope, like, I don't know, like the first guy that was attacked, he's been hit in the head by the iron rods, and that's not good at all. So that's
horrific. Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a severe turn in the mood.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know how to.
So, what we are here to do today is review some footage released for the first time from Celebrating Dissent 2022, our event that we went to in Cologne, Germany, like 2 weekends ago. And we're going to review some footage from Armin's panel today because we were talking about recently how he caused some drama. Okay. Like we do. Like, all in a day's work for Atheist Republic. And we thought it'd be really fun to review that with you guys. So Armin was on a panel clearly called, as you can see here, on Gods and Religious Morality, which I loved. It was my favorite panel of the weekend. It's my favorite panel of the entire event, personally.
Aw, thank you. Wow, that's a very major compliment, guys, because Richard Dawkins had a panel. So I don't know, like, don't say that. People are gonna like that. But thank you, Susie. I appreciate that.
And so, yeah, we wanted to watch this, or at least watch, the drama, spill that tea that we were, teasing you guys with earlier.
Look,
so
this is okay. I'm not gonna play the audio, but this was Richard Dawkins' panel. Okay. But let's go. We want to do my panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are like, why would we do Armin's panel when we have Richard Dawkins' panel? I mean, okay, the reason why we're doing my panel is because Richard Dawkins, the things that he has said it in all other places. Okay, like, did he say something that he hasn't said in other places? I think he has said everything he said, like, we've heard it other places. I mean, it was it was very interesting. It was very intelligent, very, like, I love, obviously I always love listening to Richard, but
he read poetry from his mother.
Oh, maybe that was new. That was new. Okay. But other than the poetry, you're right. That was new. Oh my God. Yeah, that was new. But other than that part, everything he said was things that I already heard him say before. But the reason why we're going through my panel is because stuff happened. A lot of crazy stuff happened during my time.
I went a little off the rails. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So Susanna has done us a huge favor and giving us some timestamps. Do you want to go through the drama period, or do it just like the questions and answers? Oh, so my panel, by the way, was about religion and morality. Okay. The topic that I'm actually very passionate about. So this was good because the last time I went to this conference, the panel that I was put on was comedy. Comedy. Okay. And I couldn't understand why I'm on that panel. But it ended up working very fine because actually I said I managed to make the audience laugh a lot, because the first thing I said, like, why would they put me on this panel? I'm the least funniest person in this entire conference, and everyone started laughing. I'm like, and then I was like, apparently not. Apparently, so that's good. But this year they actually put me on a panel that I am actually genuinely passionate about. So this was good. But you decide.
You actually are quite funny because you're just so outrageous. Like the stuff you say is so outrageous and brazen. It's hilarious. That's why I love you.
If I'm ever funny, it's not because I'm trying to be funny. It's by accident. Okay.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah. Look at this. So I was saying, personally, I am more interested to hear what Armin and Susanna said than hearing Richard Dawkins. Okay, guys, don't. I appreciate that, but we don't want to diss Richard Dawkins. Okay, Richard Dawkins' panel was actually very interesting, but I appreciate that.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Oh my God! Look at this. Armin's humor is what I'd expect from someone who stopped maturing at 16. What? Okay. That's not I don't know if that was a compliment. Was that a compliment?
No, that's a burn.
Okay. Jesus. All right.
A lot of Armin's humor is not for 16-year-olds, but it literally cannot be said on air because we would get nuked off of every platform. The stuff he says to me is horrific.
All right, so do we want to start with the drama or end with the drama? Let's end with the drama. So let me see.
I don't know if we want to go through your whole panel though. Is that what the earlier timestamps you gave me were?
No. Those are. I'm gonna tell. No. I'm gonna show you that at the very end. I'm not gonna show you at the beginning. I'm gonna go through your timestamp. I have some timestamps, and Susanna doesn't know what those timestamps are. But it's gonna make sense once we go through the drama. After we're done the drama, I'm gonna go through my timestamps. Okay. But let's do the non-drama.
Okay, so we are about to dig into the feminist drama that we hinted at.
Oh, we are going to do that from the beginning, from 54? Oh, really? 54?
Yeah, no, I just went straight into it with my timestamps.
You just went right into it. Okay, cool. I thought you had some other moments that you want to try that. All right, so I'm just going to play it. Is this double speed? Let me remove it from double speed. I'm guessing this is where the question. All right, so we just finished. This is at the end almost, right? So we just finished talking about morality and everything, and we had all very interesting points, especially me. And now this is during the Q&A part. Okay, so the audience is asking questions. So let's see what happens.
Oh wait, but there's some background to this.
Okay, go on.
So the background to this.
You tell us. I'm going to go to the washroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, clearly you can see on this panel that we have a bunch of men, and then we have the lovely, incredibly intelligent, one of my favorite journalists, Khadija Khan, here as the only female panelist on the far left. And so the background is that there were supposed to be two other women on this panel, but they had to drop out for various reasons, and leaving only this one woman on stage. And this imbalance of the sexes caused a bit of contention for some other people who happened to be other speakers at the event who were sitting in the audience. And they had their opinions on this, and we are about to get into this.
Okay. Do you have audio? When I played it last time, you had audio, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this
Wait,
is
now I
her.
can't hear anything.
Oh, wait.
Oh, the other hilarious thing about this clip is that you can hear me because Babak was the one filming this. You can hear me
Oh,
sitting next to
no.
him reacting.
Really? We
And-
can.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And Rivka is sitting a few seats to my right, and so you
Uh.
can hear her reacting as well.
Oh, okay. All right, let's listen. This is good. I didn't know that. This makes it even better. Okay, watch.
Next question, please.
Vidu, guys, this is Vidu, by the way. Hi, Vidu.
I'm surprised, because
Wait, we can hear. I can't hear anything. It's
Really?
so quiet. Can you turn it up?
Can you hear it? No, wait. She doesn't even spoken yet. Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so what's
and-
happening is that at the end of the panel, there's a Q&A, and that people
Yeah.
in the audience can ask questions. So that's,
I know how
and
to
I think
increase
this was
the
the
audio.
first question. So this is how it
There
comes
we
out.
go. Look.
There
look,
we
look.
go.
People say we can hear it.
I can barely.
Good.
hearing a lot of.
That's
Let's
better.
go back.
I'm surprised, because since maybe 1 hour and a half, we're hearing a lot of male voices, not letting the only woman speaking, they talking to mic, and they speak.
Well, okay, so 3 people clap. So like after 1 hour of speaking, I'm hearing a lot of male voices speaking, not letting the only woman speak. Okay, so I want you to because I take this criticism. I took this criticism seriously. After the event, I went and I told her that I'm gonna go rewatch the event. Okay, and maybe like she's right. Okay, so but let's listen to what the questionnaire is saying.
So we are not out of the patriarchy, from religion or no religion.
Was that you? You said what? Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh my god. wait.
The only woman
Listen to
speaking,
Susanna again.
they talking to mic, and they speak. So we are not out of the patriarchy, from religion.
What? That was it. Susanna's like, what? Okay, that's good. Let's continue.
On no religion. The inheritance is here. Sorry for what is this.
That's like 3 people.
I just came back.
Wait, look at Vito's face.
Yeah. No, and you can hear Babak going. Babak is like,
Vito's so confused. Look at
Sorry
him.
for what
It
is
literally
this.
looks left to right.
I just came back with all.
Look, Vito just shook his head like this. Okay,
Always.
and I'm talking to Khadija.
I just came back with always the same story, about laïcité. Mariam, I don't know if you're here. But
Armin.
I think
What?
So then she proceeds to like talk about laïcité for another like 2 minutes, just talking about laïcité and translating it and all this stuff for
Okay. So that
for what purpose
okay,
I don't
so-
know. So the next one you skip to is 5719.
Okay. Let's go to 50. So she doesn't talk about the patriarchy stuff for a while, and then
in a country.
Okay, just before we take on this question, I think the accusation of patriarchy is very unfair. We're all friends here. We give everyone a free chance. And there was someone else,
I would
female.
like to answer.
I'll let you answer.
Yes. First of all, I appreciate your concern, but
Wait, Armin, this is so funny.
what?
So Vidu says, I think we should let Khadija respond. And then you hear Rivka in the background go, let her.
Wait, really? Rivka said that? Wait, hold on.
You have to
I wanna
listen.
hear- what?
And there was someone else,
I would
female.
like to answer.
I'll let you answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, I appreciate
Okay. So I don't know if Video understand. I think Video understands this, like, but a lot of people would take issue with how was he like playing into that joke? Like, okay, this is patriarchy. I'm letting you speak, or was he not aware?
I'm not sure because he does play into it later.
Okay. I don't know if he was playing into it right now, or does he not understand how this would be perceived by some people? Like, oh my god, okay, thank you for letting us speak. Okay, but okay, let's see what she says. By the way, you can see Nuria was supposed to be on this panel, and someone else. Oh, it's not here. Okay.
Mimsy was supposed to be involved in this panel, I think.
Huh?
I think Mimsy was supposed to chair it.
Oh yeah, Mimsy was supposed to be on this panel, and Nuria. Yeah, but it didn't work out. So yeah.
Yes. First of all, I appreciate your concern, but being born and raised in a religiously conservative household, it was never easy for me to make my voice heard. I'm here on this stage. I have done a journey to be here, and I have faced a lot to be here. But trust me, all my esteemed panelists, they are very much like me, and I am like them. But our discussion is happening, it's a very friendly manner. I'm very honored to be a part of this panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And but having said so,
I'm going to cut you right there.
Okay, he's playing. Okay, now it's obvious he's playing.
So I wanted to say that religion, we are talking about that how people would, find their basis to have a moral society, to have a cohesive society. So look at China. China, for 2 millennia, based their moral values, their laws, and their principles on Confucianism, which is not a religious doctrine. So it's not that morality cannot exist outside the religion, but in my view, it does exist outside the religious framework. It cannot exist within this framework, but you can have religious values. You want to call that morality, it's up to you. But morality, I think, comes when we realize that human decency needs more than what somebody.
So you can see that I told message to video that I want to respond to this.
Sitting on the sky is telling you. And I would like to add Christopher Hitchens' quote. He said, and I quote, that human decency does not come from religion, it precedes it. So.
Absolutely, thank you.
I just want to respond to that patriarchy claim.
Okay, I just said.
Okay, here's where things get spicy. Here's where things get spicy.
Okay, so I just said I want to respond to the patriarchy claim, and that's a big red flag already. Okay, because I don't know if you've noticed, but I happen to be a man, and it doesn't sit well with some people when you say, as a man, if you say, I want to respond to the patriarchy claim. Okay, so let's just see if that would happen.
Or have any opinion about it, really.
Look at exactly. But look at exactly as soon as I said I want to respond to the patriarchy claim, there's something happening in the audience. Just pay like.
So.
Absolutely, thank you.
I just want to respond to that patriarchy claim. Right? Oh no! A man is speaking about patriarchy.
Okay, so it's not going very well for me already.
That's not what I said. I'm sorry. It's not what I said. I said there is a speaker, we can give you the mic, not taking the mic from the other.
So what is she saying? She said it's not what I said. I don't know. What is she saying that she's not saying? I haven't even said anything, so I don't know. She's saying that that's not what I said, but I haven't even spoken yet. What haven't you not said? But so do you understand what she's saying? She said it's not what I said, but I haven't even spoken yet. She obviously said patriarchy. Okay, but
We can give you the mic, not taking the mic from the other. It's not a problem.
I haven't even said anything, and how do you know what I'm saying?
so she's saying that. What is she saying? She's saying that it's about. Okay, so she told me this after the event as well. I had a good conversation with her after. She said about not giving her the mic and taking away the mic from her and not letting her speak is it's about that. Okay, so which is something I want to come back to after this whole thing is over. Okay, so she said this is what it's about. So there's an attempt to make me just let this go. Okay, but I don't know. I have a problem.
Wait.
What?
The way you said that, you're so sheepishly like, but I don't know. I have a problem.
All right, but let's continue.
It's so funny though, because you can hear people in the audience be like, oh no. They know his reputation. They know where this is headed.
Yeah. Okay, let's switch.
How do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
It's okay. It's not going to be. It's not about.
I think,
I'm just going to make one claim. Okay.
I think
I think patriarchy is has become, for some feminists, not all, to the concept.
This is very important that I said not all. Okay, Jimmy makes fun of me for saying not all, but it's very important for me to say not all, especially given the criticism that comes after me. After I said patriarchy from some feminists, not all. Okay.
Patriarchy has become, for some feminists, not all, to the concept of God.
Me? Wait, you can hear me?
Yeah, you're like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
I said patriarchy for some feminists, and feminists in the back, and Susanna in the background is like, oh boy. look at this.
I know where this is headed.
Like, I know what's happening.
It's not about.
Listen to Susanna.
Make one claim, okay? I think patriarchy has become, for some feminists, not all.
Oh boy. That was so. I didn't know your audio is just so much the cherry on top. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh boy. Patriarchy from some feminists, not all. Okay, let's see what we're discussing.
God. Has become, for some feminists, not all, to the concept of God.
God.
Because everything that cannot be explained, every problem, every ill, instead of having a nuanced discussion about what's causing it, you're blaming on the patriarchy. Okay? This is a disservice to feminism. Okay? This is the patriarchy of the gaps. Usually, what harms society is more complicated than just patriarchy.
Okay, thank you. I think we've gone over that now. It's fine.
I got actually a Jimmy, I think, clap. Who are clapping? It's only Jimmy and you and Babak, I guess, right? There's nobody else. But it's weird because a lot of people...
In the front row, it was... Oops, sorry, I have a bit of a lag. So in the front row, at least where Babak was recording, it was Babak, me, Varia was next to us, then it was Rivka and Jimmy.
Yeah. So... and it's weird because after basically what I said was like the patriarchy is like it has become the patriarchy of the gaps. You just fill in the like it's a unfalsifiable claim, and any problem is being explained with patriarchy by some feminists. Again, some feminists, okay, not all feminists. And I just compared it to the God of the gaps, where everything that you don't know the explanation from, you just explain it with God did. I said for some feminists, patriarchy is basically functioning like God does for religious people. Okay, I don't know if you want to hear the comeback to me, because there was another person that came and suggested that I don't understand feminism, and feminism is a lot more nuanced, and I pointed out to her that I was specifically talking.
That's right after this.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. I think we've gone over that, right? So this gentleman, unfortunately,
Me and Rivka are dying in the front row.
So somebody,
the two of us cracking up.
Wait, this is such a good. I didn't even notice this joke at the time. So Vito is like the next person who's speaking is like a man. So Vito is like this gentleman. Unfortunately. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my god, this is so good.
It's fine.
Oh my god.
I think we've gone over that, right? So this gentleman, unfortunately,
Apologize for your penis.
Wait, who said apologize for your penis? Who said that? Was that you?
Apologize for your penis.
Wait, who was that? Was that you? That was not you. That was someone else.
Please recognize your privilege before you speak.
Finally,
That was
very
me and Rivka.
Okay. Wait, now who said apologize for your penis? I think Susie has a leg.
Well, thanks very much for doing it as well.
Okay.
I think no. I think wait. Sorry, I have a leg, so it's hard for me to tell.
Go ahead.
I think it was either me or Rivka that said that.
Okay.
Important point that was made. We might not agree, but I think this constant poking fun and
Sure.
mocking is out of order, particularly because Nadia and Tanya is one of our most esteemed atheists. So
Oh, at this point, I thought Mariam is talking about me. I think it was talking about me because Mariam was like, this constantly making fun needs to stop because that person that I was responding to, it was like an esteemed guest or something, right? And I thought Mariam was like, oh no, I made Mariam angry, and I what did I do this time, right? But I think it was Vidu because Vidu was like not like it was joke after joke after joke. But Vidu is a comedian, so I don't know. I can't. You can't blame him for that, right? But I think like Mariam was like getting concerned about that all this comedy happening at her expense. So I think now Mariam is speaking. She's like, okay, let's cut it with the jokes.
I understand where she's coming.
Yeah, I get it as well. Like, I mean, Mariam is up for open dialogue and people questioning each other's, but I think like she was like, okay, like the jokes were getting too much at this point. So that, yeah.
Wait, I love
But I mean,
this comment though.
but I don't want to blame Vidu for this because Vidu's jokes are good, and he's like, it's just his second nature to make jokes like this, right? But
and also he's trying to diffuse the situation because people were uncomfortable.
Yeah. So yeah. But I think yeah, I can see every perspective right now. Yeah. What do you want to
Charles is saying Rivka's laugh is absolutely maniacal. I love it.
It was fantastic.
There's nothing against Nadia.
But so can I just go back to answer her comment about laicity? It's very important.
Yeah.
What she said.
These are very important questions.
Look at the mess I made. I make mess. Look at this. This was a very civilized conversation going on, and then look what happened. Okay.
we've been waiting for a while.
Yeah.
Feminism has many positions. And
Oh, so yeah, this lady is saying feminism has many positions.
has also tried to look at the intersection of patriarchy with racism, with austerity, with neoliberalism, conservatism, and looked at socialism. Feminism is much more complicated.
So she's saying feminism is a lot more complicated. I don't know what this is a response to.
Women don't just talk about patriarchy.
See, she said women don't just speak about patriarchy. Never. You go listen back to what I said. Never did I say women or feminists only speak about patriarchy. This is why it's so important for you to clarify that you're not saying, even though it's cringe to constantly say not all, some, but it's very important for you to say that because even when you say that, people are like, no, feminists don't just speak about patriarchy. So you have to say that. And look, and here I mentioned that I remind them.
Exactly why I said not most, not all. That was exactly the line I used.
Armin,
See, this is exactly what I said. I said not all.
I think it's going to.
Everyone in the audience is like, Armin, just stop talking, please.
Why should but this was such an important line that I should have added. She said women don't just speak about patriarchy. I had to make sure that I remind them that I am not somebody that was accused all feminists or all women of just blaming patriarchy all the time. I'm glad that I managed to put that reminder in there because that was I don't know what that was a response to. Wait, is this going to go back to morality? Let me see the private
Yeah,
chat.
so this is the end of the feminism drama, unless we wanted. Do we want to
Okay.
say anything else about it before we move to Varia?
Yes. Yes, yes. I want to move to 3 moments because her issue was specifically, and I thought maybe I have a problem with false memories. Guys, you don't know. During this trip, I lost my phone, okay? And I specifically remembered that I left my phone in a restaurant, even though I left it in a car. Like I had vivid memories of something that didn't happen, right? So I went and
I was
spoke
there.
after the conference was over, okay? I went and I spoke to the woman who questioned us about patriarchy and like not letting her speak, okay? And we had a really good and friendly discussion. Actually, it was very constructive, okay? And she told me that we didn't let her speak, and we were taking the microphone away from her. And I was like, I don't remember that happening, okay?
Well, not
And I
we.
told-
It was you because you're the only one
Yeah.
sitting next to her.
Okay, yes. And I was like, fair. If I've done that, I'm gonna go look back at the video, okay? And if you're right, I'm going to reevaluate. Maybe you're right, okay? But I did that, okay? So maybe because I was like, I did not do that, all right? So maybe I'm wrong. Let's go and see what happened, okay? So let me look at this moment here, okay? Here's Exhibit A.
Because they're justifying a methodology, the divine command
So you can see I have the microphone.
theory that is responsible for a lot of harm and a lot of crime, and that's why you should never say yes to Islamic reform.
Okay. I'm just
You saw? She raised her hand and she wanted to speak. And as soon as she wanted to speak, I gave her the mic. She wanted to speak, I gave her the mic.
I want to get
That was Exhibit A, okay? I had the mic. She wanted to speak. I gave her the mic, okay? Here's the Exhibit 2.
Inviting you to join us.
There's more of this. I'm just showing you.
to these standards.
absolutely. Thanks.
So you can see I'm holding the mic, okay?
Very briefly, please.
There, she wanted to speak, and I give her the mic, okay? Now, last exhibit, this is actually the best one because I didn't even notice that she wants the mic, okay? So I actually, at this point, she wanted the mic, but I was looking at the lead, so I didn't notice. At this point, I didn't notice that she wanted the mic, but look what happens, okay?
On that point, I wanted to come back to and Steelman.
Wait. No, it's a little bit before, I think.
On
Yeah.
When they look at a baby, they're like, "Oh my God, so cute! We need to protect it." It's it can't defend itself. It seems like we have this.
Wait, it's a little bit further. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we don't look at babies. I want to cut it.
Look, you can see she wants to speak.
So we're gonna thank you very much.
Look, she wants to speak. I'm not noticing her. I'm not giving her the mic, right?
Armin!
So I give her the mic and I apologize. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice that you wanted the mic. So because I apologize to her for not noticing that she wanted the mic. And guys, all of these are happening before the accusation of us taking the mic away from her and being patriarchal on herself. This one, like I this was a sincere apology. Like, oh, sorry, you wanted the mic. I'm so sorry. Look at this.
Armin!
So on that point, I wanted to come back.
You saw? Okay. So this was not false memory. I gave her the mic every single time that she wanted the mic. I gave her the mic. There we go. Patriarchy. Not just. By the way, as we're speaking, a lot of people are like using their membership. They're gifting. Silva just
Patriarchy
gifted somebody.
debunked.
Patriarchy. Well, patriarchy is a thing, but not over there. At least not on this panel.
I'm joking.
Okay. I know, but I have to clarify. We have to clarify these things. Silva just gifted one membership, and Silva is a 10-month member. He's enjoying the hell. He's saying he's enjoying hell as a 10-month member. And there was another person that was celebrating their membership. Guys, this is a new thing. You can celebrate. Secular Sakai as a 5-month member. And he's saying supercharts are back. So thank you, guys. When you reach milestones with your membership, apparently now there's a thing that you could actually celebrate how long you've been a member. But thank you, Selva, for celebrating
cool.
your 10th month membership with gifting another person with a membership. I appreciate that. Who was gifted? Oh, Cosmic
Sweet.
Heathen was gifted a membership by Selva. Okay, so Cosmic Heathen, you are now a member. That's fantastic. All right. Do we want to do? Do you want to do? I think the rest of it is too philosophical for people. I think people here just wanted for us to go over the drama. Let us know if you guys want us to do the moral philosophy part. If you guys want us to review that as well, because you might get bored of that. Because the video will be released on our channel at some point. So if you're interested in that, you could watch the entire thing, right? So let's not do that. What do you think?
Yeah. Wait, I had one comment though. With the whole like accusations of patriarchy thing, I have to say, like, as someone who was there, no one, okay, clearly not no one because of what ended up happening, but there was not a second that I was watching this panel that I was thinking about, oh, who's a woman, who's a man, who's contributing, who's not, and maybe some radical feminists or whatever would be like, no, Susanna, that's your exact problem, blah, blah, blah. I was just listening to what people had to say, what their arguments are, and how they responded, you know? And then when that comment came forward, I felt like it was so infantilizing to Khadija to be like, oh, look, like, you're so weak, basically saying like you almost don't have a voice, and like, look at what's happening, these men are taking it away from you, all this stuff. I felt like that was so unfair, and I really liked the way that Khadija responded to it, just being like, you basically, like, you don't know what it took for me to get to this spot, and I'm like, I'm proud to be here. I have no problem with my other panelists, whether they be a man or not. Like, I just felt like it's so, if someone had said something like that to me, I would feel so, even if it was a woman that said that to me or about my panel, I would feel so belittled.
Yeah.
Like, I would feel so belittled or talked down to. Yeah, that really bothered me.
Yeah. No, that was a very fair point. You actually made that point during the conference a couple of times. So many people came to me after the conference and told me that they thought I had a fair point. And I was like, you guys, what? You guys didn't, like, there was no clap. Like, they didn't clap. They didn't cheer. Like, it was just
There
you,
was clapping
blah, blah.
and cheering when you said that.
I
Did
know,
you
but
not
it was just
hear
you.
it on camera.
No, I'm just, hold on. I was saying it was just you, Jimmy, and Babak, and Rivka. Okay, I just think like, but not from the other people that came to me after. I think like there's this hesitation of especially in that environment to challenge my kind of narratives. You know what I mean? Like they said, like so many people after were like, yeah, thank you, Armin, for saying that, but they wouldn't do even a single clap when I was saying it, while I was saying it, because I think they didn't want to be seen as, I don't know, misogynistic or something like that. But anyways, but guys, Mariam was very
go ahead,
cool about it. Mariam was very cool because I went to Mariam. I was like, Mariam, did I do something that I'm not supposed to have done? Like, did I like cross the line or anything? Because this is her conference. And I just wanted to make sure that, you know, her conference, her rules, right? And she was like, no, it's completely okay. She didn't have any problem with me pushing back. She just had a problem, but the jokes piling up. Okay. And she was just being concerned for, you know, her esteemed guest feeling like she's being targeted, like, which is like, as a, you know, which is very fair, I think. But Mariam was so, like, multiple times I felt like I stepped out of line. And I checked with Mariam, and she was like so good about it. She was like, "No, it's completely fine. You're good." And so I appreciate that a lot. I do want to highlight. We got to.
I also want to say, like, there were a lot of people at this conference, particularly, like, I don't know how they self-identify or whatever. I identified them as generally within a vein that could be most easily identified as radical feminism, and I have a lot of disagreements with them and a lot of contentions, and I don't like behavior like that because I think it's belittling and infantilizing. But I I can still really respect the work that they've done within our field, right? So I just want to say, like, us reviewing this and giving our opinions on it is not in any way to take away from what they've contributed or what they've given to this movement or what they've given to their communities in terms of like these issues that we deal with together globally. But there's especially in this conference, there is a great deal of disagreement in terms of how to deal with these issues. And many people think we're headed for a giant schism. And so I think it's worth talking about. And our style is we talk about these things in a very humorous way. So all that to say, like, no disrespect intended.
Yes, of course. And D is saying, wearing my Atheist Republic shirt at work today. Woo, that's great.
Yay!
Guys, you can buy your shirts in the description, link below. We also got 2 super chats from the same person. One of them is this. Brandish saying, on the morality thing, I always hear Mormons respond to the problem of evil, but we need evil to exist so we know what bliss is like. What's your response? I'm saying that's heresy. I would say that's heresy because you're saying God is incapable of coming out with a way to make us know what bliss is like without evil. I mean, God is all capable.
But they're Mormon, though. So Mormons are heretical anyways.
No. I mean, do Mormons not believe in an all-powerful God? Like, can the Mormon God not do
their
everything?
construction of God is freaking wild.
Okay, I know.
Don't even know how.
Okay. Let me just check. Is the Mormon God all-powerful?
They think that we can die and become our own gods and our own planets. And
no. Okay, but I know. It's all crazy. But the main crazy part that we focus on. First of all, if their God is not all powerful, then there is no problem of evil. Okay, so you're like, okay, but you have a problem of evil if your God is all powerful. So I just checked, their God is all powerful. Okay, so if your God is all powerful and you say there is no way, no way at all for us to know what bliss is like unless there's some evil. I'm like, there's no way. That sounds like a challenge for an all-powerful entity. There is a way. You can't say there is no way for God. There's always a way. Okay? So there's my answer. There's that answer to that. And here's another question, another super chat by Brandish. Thank you for the 2 super chats today. But let's hear the drama first. Okay, yeah, we finished the drama. Thank you for the super chats. That's very sweet. By the way, Oxymoron is also pointing out that our entire live chat is becoming members. At one point, we're not going to have any. No. Okay. So, Susanna, I want to. If you don't want to, if you're not interested in reviewing your panel, which I think you did very, very well. Okay. You're one of
Everyone drop the Susie sweat emoji in the chat because that's how I feel.
I think you were very. I think I think the 2 parts that you didn't do well was because people just like messed you up, right? One, like at some point the moderator didn't know what you're supposed to be speaking about, which was like, it's fine, and you were like caught off guard. That was one moment. And another part, Jimmy kind of like started questioning you about something that you're not even associated with. It was about me, and you didn't know how to deal with that. So other than those 2 moments where you just had to deal with something that was like, what the hell am I even responding to? But the other parts, you were very nuanced, very I don't know. I enjoyed your points. I think you were making some of the great points in the entire conference, not just on your panel, right? But there was another part that you were very good, which was not even when you weren't even on a panel. You asked a question, and I think like we should, on the next Q&A, before we do the Q&A, we should take that part out because you were accused of being a terrorist sympathizer. Right?
Yeah, we talked about that on the news show last week.
Yeah, so Susanna asked a question, and because of her question, she was accused of being a terrorist sympathizer. So we're gonna cover that part in the next Q&A. I mean, I think you beat me this time. I was like, usually I get the I mean, I haven't reached in a conference like this. I haven't been dubbed like a terrorist sympathizer yet. So congratulations. So I mean, in your first conference, you managed to outdo me. Like Armin starts drama. Like I'm not compared to Susie apparently.
Oh my god! Yeah, it was funny. Yeah,
so
it was
yeah,
intense.
it was intense. Yeah, guys, it was actually very intense. Like I thought Susie is going to be really stressed out, but you handled it well because you had like women from Afghanistan wearing traditional Afghan clothing, somebody who suffered under Taliban, looking at you and saying like you are like on the side of her oppressor. Yeah, betraying Afghani woman and being on the side of her oppressor. So that's like, Jesus Christ, are you serious right now? Right? So we should go over that because I think actually your point was very fair and you had a very good question. And I think I forgot to ask Babak to put that part out. So that's why we don't have it right now. I want to review that part a bit very as well. But anyways, let's go to.
No, I think we can definitely cover it. I just want to say something about my panel. Like, part of the reason why I didn't like it is because I didn't feel like I feel like if I had, because we were the first panel, right? Like, I wish that we had been like a few panels in to get me warmed up, and it was like so early in the morning. I had a rough morning. Like, I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. And I know people like thought that I did well, but from my perspective, like I know within myself when I reach that flow state, right? Like when I reach that spot where I am articulating myself the way I want to articulate things, where I am taking these larger concepts and bringing them out in speaking and explaining them concisely and delivering it in a way that makes sense to people. Like I can actually feel when I'm doing that well. And I know when I'm reaching that state where I'm really saying things on a more nuanced level than just, oh, blasphemy law, bad, free speech, good. Like, and I didn't feel like I really hit that spot. I was frustrated because I started to scratch the surface when I talked about Mubarak Bala a little bit, but I didn't execute what I know I'm capable of. And that's why I'm frustrated with it. And so there was another panelist later, like her name is Pragna Patel, and I disagree with her on a bunch of things, but she just has this, she's so erudite. Like she just speaks and she compounds these ideas so fluidly. And when I was watching her speak, I was like, see, that's where I get. That's where I know I can get. And I didn't get there, and I was disappointed by it.
Okay, but it's kind of really unreasonable expectation for you to get to where you can get on the first goddamn panel you've ever had. You know, okay, so for example, I on my panel, like everyone tells me I did very well. Okay, I think I didn't do very well compared to what I do on a stream, on a YouTube stream. Okay, because a YouTube stream is like so I'm more comfortable here. Like I think like if this was a YouTube stream, I would have been making my points a lot more comfortably and a lot better. Things would have come a lot more naturally because it's just the environment I'm used to. Okay, I'm not often thrown like, and I've been on panels, but I'm not as on panels as I'm not on panels as often as I am on streams. So I'm not as comfortable there. So you're like, why was I not doing the 100% that I could have been doing on my first panel? So that's like a very, very unreasonable expectation that you had of yourself, I think. Yeah, like the streams, people. Also, Imran is saying achievement unlocked. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a lag. Imran is saying achievement unlocked because you've been called a terrorist sympathizer. Okay, Susie's getting. I think we have 2.5 pixels of Susie, but it's fine. There's also a major delay. Okay, let's go through the patron questions. Yes, Susie is not hearing what I'm saying. Oh, okay. There we go. We lost Susie completely. Susie, can you hear us at all? Or maybe she's coming on her phone. Come on your phone if you can. You join us on your phone instead, Susie. I want to do this. I don't want to do this without you, Susie. Susie. Oh, there we go. I knew it. I knew she was gonna come on her phone. Yay! Okay, good. I did not want to do this Q&A without Susie. I did not want to do this Q&A without Susie. Oh, I'm hearing myself. Susie, I'm hearing myself. Do you guys hear the echo? Mute Susie and see if I hear myself now. Okay, when I mute Susie, I'm not hearing myself. That means that it's coming from Susie. Anyways, Ivan is saying, Armin, how tall are you? Not very tall, actually. 5'8". Yes, people are saying they're hearing the echo. Susie? All right, I'm just going to answer the first question. Gasian American, always with the long questions, Gasian American. What are your thoughts on the term? Guys, these are Patreon questions. If you want to ask your questions, feel free to become a patron. Link in the description below. We'll put Susie down for now. What are your thoughts on the term Western democracy? Australia is south of China. Mexico uses the Latin alphabet and linguistics, I don't know what this is, of Rome, yet it is not Western. Arabs and Persians have long loved the Greek and Roman classic millennium before the Europeans. It excludes arguably the oldest democracy in North America. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is Western now a word by U.S. vassals? Is it merely a classist tool that only nations of certain GDP per capita may be ascribed? I mean, no, because Australia isn't that list, and Australia is not like, people are not trying to exclude Australia. They have high GDP per capita. It's what they're saying. Okay, you mentioned all of these examples, but there's no evil reason behind why they call it Western. Okay, they're not talking about the history of what was before the Enlightenment. Most of these ideas comes from the Age of Enlightenment, which happened in Western Europe. Okay, and it was popularized in Western Europe, and is like, yes, these ideas, the hints of it happened before the Age of Enlightenment, but it was extreme. Like the level of popularization and nuance and detail was not even close to what the Enlightenment philosophers managed to accomplish, and the amount of popularization they managed to achieve after, right? So that's why they refer to it as Western. Okay, it was after then, after the French and the American Revolution, that these ideas spread and managed to change the world so dramatically for the better, right? And we owe these ideas so much. So that's why they call it Western. However, I still think they shouldn't call it Western. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a branding problem. By the way, Susie, you look so much better on your phone. This is like, you look angelic.
Oh my God, thank you.
No, this is such a better. The lighting, the camera is so much better. Like you look so good right now. So yeah, don't.
Thank you.
Yeah. No,
Gasian American brings up a good point. This is actually why I don't like the term Western, because I find it almost like meaningless. Like, it's so, nowadays in our contemporary age, it's so hard to tell explicitly what it is.
You got cut.
Into. So that's why when I ever say like West, for like trees.
Okay, you're getting cut in and out, but I agree with Susanna. It is a branding problem. Susie, are you back? All right.
Yeah, I'm back. That's kind of why I tend to choose the phrase like free societies more. Even that is questionable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I say Enlightenment values. I say Enlightenment values because not because they don't come from the West. They do come from the West. However, it's easier for you to convince people to accept them if you don't call them Western values, right? The resistance to it would be less. Also, it belongs to the world. So given that we're trying to make it a global thing, it would be better if we don't call it Western values. And thirdly, there are other Western values that are crap. Okay, so if you call them Western values, it kind of seems like you're suggesting Western values as a whole are a good thing, which they're not. We have let me put Susie down. We have Nazism, which is a Western value. We have communism, that is a Western value, and these are really bad ideas. They are horrible ideas. Okay, and so calling them Western, it seems like you're basically, if you say Enlightenment values, then you're being more specific about which one of the values that come out of the West you are celebrating and trying to prescribe to it. So both from a branding perspective for more people to accept it, and both because even if they come from the West, they work everywhere. Every country that adapts them and benefits from them. It doesn't matter if they're Western or not, right? You could see Japan, you can see South Korea, you can see Taiwan, right? You can see Australia, right? These are not, none of these are Western, but as soon as you adapt these values, the countries progress significantly faster than other countries, right? So we want everybody to adapt it. So, and also because communism and Nazism are also Western. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to call them Western. Anyways, let's go to the next question. What's the Higgs boson is asking? What's the FBI doing to Trump? Will this so-called raid help him politically? It might actually. Unfortunately, this might be a really good comeback for Trump. I hope they put him to. I mean, I don't think it will happen, but I would be pleasantly surprised if they actually charge him with something and he goes to jail. I'm not at all naive enough to think that's going to happen, but I'm just saying that if that does happen, I would be so happy. Okay, this guy is this guy is a danger, not to the United States, but to the entire planet. And I hope they manage to find a way to make it possible that he's not able to run at all as a candidate. Like, I think if they charge him, he can't run as a candidate, right? I hope so. Yeah, I hope he's. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I'm simply facing a charge. I don't know if it's just simply on the basis of facing a charge. Anyone can face a charge. It's like if he's actually found guilty. Like, is he found to be a felon? That disqualifies you. You lose your voting rights if you're a felon.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, but unfortunately right now, this is working in his favor. This is becoming a major...
Actually, I don't know if having a criminal past disqualifies you from running, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyways, wait.
But what is the FBI doing? We're not the feds.
The FBI, they're holding him responsible for. Finally, they're holding him responsible for one of the many crimes that he has committed. They finally managed to pin him down on something, so that's a good thing. I mean, the guy, the man has like holding documents that it's illegal for him to. Guys, the classified documents that he was holding, they're like nuclear stuff. Like, this is like if other people and the people that were working in his house in where he lives, none of the people that work where he lives have that. They have the clearance to be even remotely close to any of his documents. And this is like, as an American, you should be worried about American security.
Oh,
Susie,
Jesus, I'm fading again.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. But guys, this is information that the world shouldn't be having access to. This is dangerous, okay? Also, the information was so classified that the FBI that raided his house, they didn't even have the clearing to be to touch any of these documents. So they had to go get the clearance to be able to even raid the house, to even touch the documents. That's how high level these documents were. But yeah, I mean, the guy doesn't. I mean, it would be amazing if this is what he gets in trouble for, because the man has no respect for any procedure, any rules, any laws, and at some point, like, he has to. If he doesn't pay the price for any of it, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, America America's legal system needs to show to the world that it makes sense. This man has to pay the price for one of the laws and rules that he's broken. But yeah, Susanna, are you back? Susie? Okay, Susie's not back.
So-
Do you think?
Well, I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
I can hear you. Go
Um, I've heard that the documents at this point, at first people thought maybe they were nuclear. I don't know if that's true. Now people are saying that the documents were in terms of human intelligence sources. So basically meaning humans, people that the feds or the CIA use around the world for spies, basically. Documents about who are their spies around the world. And this is really important because there was a secret memo that went out around the I don't know. Well, there was a memo that went out about the CIA about an unusually high uptick in human sources being assassinated recently. So this actually does put the security of the United States in severe danger in multiple ways. Not only is it in danger, if true, not only is it endangering the lives of our intelligence sources around the world, but it's also putting the lives of Americans and also people in many other nations in jeopardy because of our sources then being put in danger. You know, like how are we going to be able to ascertain that information otherwise?
Yeah, good point. I agree. All right, let's go through these questions fast because we did a lot of the. Today we're just going to do the Q&A with the Patreon, but next time we will have members up. But today, because we spent so much time reviewing the event, we're not going to do that because I need to go. But let's go through these questions fast. Idris is saying, Armin, do you know about Greg Douchet? Is that how you say his last name? I watch him, but
Yes.
Yeah, Douchet. If so, what do you think about his tips? I think they're pretty solid, actually. I think he does a good job myth busting. Oh, look, Susanna's profile picture is her in the conference. You got a lot of good pictures from the conference, Susie. But he does a lot of myth busting. He does go after a lot of people that are spewing nonsense and making unscientific claims, and prescribing diets that don't work. And he's one of the people that does a very good and makes it like a lot of the good channels that so for people who don't know, Greg Douchet like tells you how to exercise and what to eat. It's basically a fitness channel, right? And it's a good channel to watch if you want to be entertained while also go figure out why other people who are making claims about their claims are unscientific, especially people who think like you have, I don't know, good carbs or bad carbs, or like that people think like everything, especially people who think like they can violate the laws of thermodynamics, right? Like that it's not just about calories in, calories out, right? Like every single scientific research shows that losing weight, for example, at the end of the day is about calorie restriction. And a lot of people in the keto diet or other forms of diet are coming out with all these pseudoscientific claims about, no, it's not about that, but which at the end of the day is about that. And making so many making a lot of recommendations on their channel that seems scientific, and they also bring research to back it up, but they're actually not interpreting the research correctly. And because they're using a lot of scientific terms and looking at like, oh, look at this paper and this paper, and using great animation, it just seems like, oh my God, they know what they're talking about. It seems very scientific, but it's not. And Greg does a really good job in like destroying all of this nonsense, right? So yeah, I would recommend this channel. Idris is saying, what do you guys do if you had the power to move the EU closer to a federation? I would go for it. I think it would be good for the EU to not just be an economic union, but a military and diplomatic and everything union, just like the United States, right? What do you think? It would be if each EU country ends up being like a state in the United States, that would be a powerhouse that could, take some weight off the shoulder of the United States, so that the world liberal order is not being held by just one goddamn superpower at some point. I know the entirety of the EU is still not going to be a match for the United States, but at least we're going to get there a little bit closer. And also I think EU has a much better dedication to human rights than United States does. Again, their record is not clean as well, but it would be better if we had two world police instead of one, so that they could challenge each other for who's the better human rights activist. Like, so for one to be embarrassed by the other one when one of them falls short. It's just like it's easier for the U.S. to just only talk about human rights and not commit to it when it's when it's the main power that is withholding. That is maintaining the world liberal order, right? We want the reliance on the maintaining of the world liberal order to be on the shoulder of more powers, so that there's some competition in the propaganda or the say, so that they could. There's an alternative. Right now we have I don't want the alternatives to be China and Russia. I want the alternatives to be the EU. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, and also less burden on the American taxpayer.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
Idris's question is, okay, if you had the power to, what would you do to move the EU closer in that direction?
Yeah, I would definitely.
No. What would you do? Not
what would
you do it. What would you do?
If you had the power to, what would you do? No, I think he said. I think his question is, would you do it? Well, what would I do?
What would you do?
How would I do it?
I don't know. I support it. I don't know what you would do to move towards it.
I mean, I need to know more about the bureaucracy of how the EU works to be able to answer that question. Like, I need to know what levers I need to pull, who I talk to, whose back I need to scratch, whose pockets do I need to fill. I don't know how the EU bureaucracy works, but
I just know that there's a lot of it.
Yeah. Oh, how about this? I will reduce the bureaucracy. Maybe make things a little bit more straightforward. There's too many. Actually, maybe I don't know, because, one thing that people complain about EU is the too much regulations and laws, but also those standards are what sets them apart from actually having higher standards than other international bodies, right? So. I don't know. I would have to know. I don't have the expertise to know what needs to be done. I just think EU moving towards that direction would be a better thing, both for EU people and also the world.
Yeah, I agree. What if people said that this is moving towards a multipolar world, which you have concerns about multipolarism?
Wait, I was distracted by this question. Read this question.
Ibn Qayyim is asking, bro, where did you find such an attractive co-host? Well, thank you, Ibn Qayyim. Long story short, he de-radicalized me from Antifa, and I came to talk to him about it, and we've been friends ever since.
Yes. All right, so what were you saying about multipolarized something? Sorry.
So you have talked many times about your concerns over a multipolar world. Usually this discussion takes the form of talking about multipolar world being China versus US, Russia versus US, etc., etc. But what if people are saying that you're talking about, oh, we want two world police? What if they say, and they come back to you and say, this sounds like the multipolarism that you are fearful of?
Okay, I was saying I was fearful of people that at least somewhat care about human rights being challenged by pure evil. Okay. Okay. I'm okay with a multipolar world. Is like, no, we care about human rights. No, we care about human rights. And there's actually some genuine effort. Okay. Not like Chinese level of effort, like that China CCP, not let's say CCP, not Chinese, okay, not CCP level of effort. Like, as much as I agree the United States is responsible for a lot of human rights violations, okay, it is on adhering to some human rights, okay, standards it's somewhere on their list. Again, it's not their number one priority. It's not their number two priority. It's like maybe number, I don't know, 26 or something, but it's on there. Okay, like there is they are moving in like there is an attempt to move in that direction. Okay, the EU is even higher than the United States, I think. Okay, with their dedication. I mean, again, you could find examples of places where that's not true, but relative to the United States, I think they have even a better record sometimes. And I just think like if these are the powers that be challenging each other or how the world order has to be, that would be a better world if on one side we have the United States and on the other side we have China. That's the kind of multipolar world that I would not like. If you are a poor country that needs debt and you go to United States and United States like, sorry, if you want this money, you have to clean up your human rights record. And you're like, damn it. And they like do it. Like, this is actual stuff that happens. Okay. Like, this has caused some stability. For example, for a long time in Africa, coups had dropped because of the political stability that was required in Africa for them to get money from EU or United States, right? But then when like one of the many factors that increased instability in Africa was the reason why China came and like, we don't care about this stuff, right? And you can get money from us anyway, right? And they're like, okay, so these standards that Europe and the United States require, I don't need that. I could get, and that has one of the major factors, other than drought and political Islamism, that has caused a lot of instability in Africa, right? So the coups are now picking up, starting to increase again, right? But
you've also said that China getting involved with this is a good thing because it provides competition.
Yeah. I want competition. I want United States main competition to be EU, not China. And that's a friendlier competition as well. I mean, again, I want China to okay, unless I still want China's economy to grow and become a major player. Okay, I'm talking about, but I don't want the CCP to be as the way it is right now to have that much influence over. I mean, it's so weird as well because CCP is the main challenger right now in the world liberal order, even though it's the number one beneficiary of it as well. Like it's so like the beast that is China right now. It has happened because of the level of stability and security that United States has provided with its military around the world. Like the main beneficiary of that stability the United States military has created has been China, right? So people, so to see this like as the United States versus China sometimes doesn't make any sense. Like it seemed like, you know, that CCP is just like biting the hand that it feeds it, right? You know what I mean? Like this whole wolf warrior diplomacy is just like, you're not working for China, you know, you're just working for CCP. None of this makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's very opportunistic.
I mean, it makes sense though. I'm saying it doesn't make it doesn't make
it does make it its own kind of logic.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense if you assume that CCP is working for the Chinese people, but it makes absolute sense if you think about them trying to just maintain power and stay in control. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. I think we spent too much time on this one.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so these next questions are too big to appear in one thing on StreamYard, so I'll read it from Patreon, and I'm also going to have to do some contemporaneous editorializing because it's a bit hard to see what the actual question is. So I'm going to have to do some interpretation. Okay, so Kaz is asking, can Al Jazeera be seen? Can Al Jazeera English? Can Al Jazeera English be seen considered as real journalists with integrity, or just seen as a propaganda channel, or just as journalists with no real integrity? Not I'm not speaking about the difference in their English coverage versus their Arabic coverage, which is just far right bigotry. I mean, they
Oh, you're getting cut.
never talk about Qatar in a critical way, with quite a negative. They never talk about Qatar in a critical way, with quite a negative framing of countries that Qatar does not like, where they hold them to a standard that Qatar itself has in no way. Should they also be flagged as state-affiliated media on state-affiliated media of Qatar on social media, like Global Times, which is flagged as state-affiliated media of China? So yes, I think they should be flagged as state-affiliated media. I know when I watch Al Jazeera English on YouTube, they are flagged as state-affiliated media. So I don't know what it is like on other social media platforms, but they are flagged at least on YouTube, which is where they have a lot of viewership. Even like the Public Broadcasting Service, or PBS, of America is flagged as state-affiliated media, I believe, because it is, or Voice of America. Is Voice of America flagged? I don't know, but it should be. Because these are news channels that receive funding by the government. In general, it depends on the kind of coverage. So for Al Jazeera English, I do legitimately think a lot of their coverage is quite good. Now, in terms of what, like, a lot of their investigative journalism is very good. A lot of their media analysis that they do, like this program called The Listening Post, is very good. However, you do have to be selective on what kind of issue you're talking about. So with their coverage of Palestinian issues, it's very one-sided. Their coverage of Kashmir issues is very one-sided. So topic by topic, it is important to look at go beyond Al Jazeera for looking at specific issues. I don't know how much of that you actually got from me.
Yeah, the Kashmir was, I think you said Kashmir as well. They're one-sided. Also, I don't think who are you talking about when you're comparing them to the people that, the countries that they're against? Because it's just Saudi Arabia, right? Mainly. And because Qatar has like very close relationships with almost all countries, except maybe Saudi Arabia and its main allies. And Saudi Arabia is like a lot worse than Qatar could ever be. Like, I don't know, you're saying that because I just have an issue with what you're saying. They never talk about Qatar in a critical way with quite a framing of countries that Qatar doesn't like, where they hold them standard that Qatar itself no way has. Okay, I don't understand, because are you talking about which standards you're talking about? Because Saudi Arabia does far worse things than Qatar ever does. Again, it's a hit and miss. Like sometimes, like when Qatar talks about Iran, I feel like, oh, that was so biased in favor of the regime. Like every single guest seemed to be pro-regime. But sometimes all of a sudden, sometimes they invite somebody. Are you okay? Sometimes they invite somebody,
I'm okay.
and it's sometimes they.
It's actually funny because I
Oh, you're getting cut, Susie. You're getting way too cut. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Fell down the stairs today.
Oh, yeah. You fell down the stairs today? You okay?
Yeah, I fell down the stairs today so hard that the baby that was close by started crying.
Oh no! Are
like
you
I
okay?
fell so hard, someone else started crying. No, I'm totally fine though. I was laughing really hard.
Yeah. All right, I think we should end this here because we've been talking for a while, and also somebody saying Armin is drinking a drum. You're talking about this? It's just something.
We do have one more patron question though.
Oh, we do? Where?
Yeah.
Highlight that. Highlight.
Wait, no, I can't highlight it because I'm on my phone.
We have. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's Harshal. Is it our Harshal?
No, or maybe it didn't get in the StreamYard. Whoops.
If it's our Harsh is saying, what do you? Okay, let me find. I'll go find it. But Harsh is saying, what do you think about the future of atheism in digital age? I think it will become so normalized, and I think like the digital age will end religion. So a lot of people think I'm too optimistic, and religion will always be with us, but I don't think so. I think that the end of religion is coming soon, and some people are saying like, no. It is part of our nature to need religion, and as long as we're human, we're going to have religion. And I'm saying exactly, okay, because as long as we're human is the key part here, because we're going to because I think we're going to pass that point. Okay, I think we're going to become human plus very, very soon. Okay, let me see which question that you. No, I don't see any question that we didn't highlight.
Oh shoot! I forgot to put it on the StreamYard then, because there's one more on Patreon.
All right, I'll go get it. Do you know who it was?
Yeah, it's the one at the bottom by Kaz Lopez. To be honest, though, I have a really hard time interpreting this question, though.
This one?
This is it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so we're going to have to do some teamwork on interpreting this question because I was legitimately confused as to what is actually being asked. Okay. Mm-hmm. So are the outrages by Muslims about Charlie Hebdo not a sign of pure hypocrisy with Crystal Night actions? I mean, in most countries where Muslims are the most outraged are in Muslim majority countries with a terrible record on human rights. I mean, in countries like Pakistan, Qatar, Iran, Somalia, who can in no way be described as states with any form of tolerance, maybe Iranian people, but the state, no. Should Europe then not take actions with France in solidarity against the Islamic Crystal Knights by enacting sanctions? Could that deter them with the government's their final thinking rational instead of far-right Islamic?
Okay, what is the question? I don't understand the question. Do you understand the question?
So they're comparing the reactionary violence by some Muslims against accused blasphemers to basically the Yahtzee, like, what's it called? Crystal Knock or whatever? The infamous, Crystal Night.
Yes.
So they're making that comparison. So that's why they're saying like Islamic Crystal Knights. Okay, but should we enact sanctions on them to deter them from this way of thinking? Would sanctions incentivize a rationality instead of far-right Islamism?
No.
I think that's the question, and I think yeah. You go first.
Okay. Sanctions causes poverty. Mm-hmm. Poverty helps radicalism. So no. In fact, you probably want to do the opposite. One thing that helps people leave religion and join modernity is economic prosperity, believe it or not, right? So, in fact, you might want to do more trades with them, okay, so that these countries could prosper, so they could leave religion behind faster.
That was basically my stance. Like, we need to bring people into the fold.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that we can't take punitive action against them. So, for example, like Pakistan has a $1 billion trade deal with the EU that was up on the chopping block because of how severe the blasphemy frenzy and blasphemy executions or threat thereof has gotten in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And Pakistan basically publicly doubled down on it, but privately they were trying to do everything they could to maintain their trade deal.
Right. Yeah. They say no, it would just lead to more anti-West sentiment. Yeah. You
I
you
agree
have
with Dee.
Islam. You have Islam, and then you have people who like hungry and suffering, and like, who did this to us, mommy? Who did this to us? Like those Americans. And like, you're just basically helping you.
Yeah.
You know, you're part of the radicalization process by doing that.
Yeah.
You're like, mommy, I'm gonna grow up, and and the mom is gonna be dying in the hospital, and she doesn't have the medicine to save her mom because of the sanctions. Okay, and she's like, I'm gonna get revenge, mommy. I promise. I'm gonna go after these Americans, and I'm gonna get revenge. Okay, and you're like, you have that, and you have Islam, and then you get like, yeah, there you go. You played yourself. Plus, you made a lot of people suffer.
What would be a better way of incentivizing good behavior?
Education.
Did you hear me?
Education. Yes, education and economic prosperity. Okay, I mean, incentivize from from the government or from the people? From the people, activism, raising awareness, talking about Islam. Okay, from the government needs to stay out of that. Okay, we want secularism. We don't want the government to take a stance on any religion. Okay, they just should like encourage more education, make education more accessible to more people, right? And I think critical thinking skills needs to be part of elementary education everywhere, right? But also more trade with more countries that are poor, so that you could lift them out of poverty. Yeah.
Well, I think the state needs to be involved, but in a different way. The state needs to provide legitimate and strong civil infrastructure, so that we don't have situations like in Pakistan, the only people that fill the gap of the state failing to provide the systems needed for its people. Who fills the gap? The Talibs. Because of the state's own failure to provide schooling for children, for example. Who else was providing food and boarding for children?
Who should
Talibs.
provide that civil? Yeah, but who should provide that infrastructure? You mean you're talking about their own? Okay. But not the West, not the. Are you talking about foreign states or the Pakistan state?
Well, ideally, it should be the actual nation.
Okay, but if
itself, and maybe if they're
okay, you're getting cut. You're getting cut.
So they could get assistance from foreign governments, but the level of corruption.
All right, so you're getting cut. What I'm making out of the limited audio that I'm getting that it ideally should be from their own country. But if they're not able to, it should be, oh, look at Susie sad, so cute. Okay, you're saying that if they can't do it themselves, they should be getting aid from other countries, from foreign countries. Is that okay? But the problem is that aid doesn't seem to be work. Aid seems to, I think, like trying to lift these countries up by having more trade deals with them might be a better method than aid.
I agree.
Yeah. There's a lot of problems with aid. I'm not saying I'm not anti-aid as a whole, but aid is not going to lift the country up. Aid is just going to help the specific people at that moment in time that nobody's lifting up. Aid is usually not a long-term investment that is going to make a country different. It's just like, this country is screwed up right now, and we need to help these people right now. But none of what you're doing with aid is going to make this country go to the next level.
Yes.
Okay. If you want the country to go to the next level, something other than aid is required. And I think like free markets, free trade, investment into the country, investment by foreign investor coming out and saying investing in the mines, investing in the clothing industry. Just look at Bangladesh, for example, right? Look at what just letting foreign investment come in and do us things. Just look at how it's lifting people up in Bangladesh. In fact, Bangladesh GDP per capita has surpassed India's, which is impressive, right? Look at the standard of living, how it's increasing there in Bangladesh. That's what you need, okay? And that's what you need long term, not like, I don't know, like 5 years from now, things might break apart. But yeah. Anyways,
I agree.
Yeah.
Give
Okay,
him that sweet drip of capitalism, baby.
that's what you need. That's what you need. Capitalism makes everything better. All right, shall we end this here? We've been already here for 2 hours. Yeah, and yeah, okay. So this was fun. Next Q&A, we're gonna bring the members up. This Q&A because we already did. We answered the Patreon questions and we also reviewed the event. We're not gonna bring the members up, but next Q&A we will. So become a YouTube member or gift it to someone else. And how it works is that I post a link to the stream for people to come up after we answer the Patreon questions, and then you can come and talk to me live on air. But for now, I'm about to head out. Thank you, Susie. Okay, see you guys later. Make sure you like and subscribe. Kisses. Well, in return for the kisses are not free. Okay, Susie's kisses are coming in return of your likes and subscribes. Okay, so make sure you like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell and leave a comment. Okay, bye.
And we also have the news show in 2 days, so make sure to tune in for the news show. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
That's true. Okay, bye.
Bye.